So there are a lot of values that I hold on to and that are really important to me. I think that the first one is definitely honesty. I believe that if we do everything in a humble and honest manner, it requires a lot of integrity, and it's really important that we keep in mind that trust has a huge role in within honesty, and I think that those things go both hand in hand, because if you're an honest person, then that means people trust you. And living with dishonesty, it's difficult because a lot of people wouldn't trust you. I mean, if they ever find you out that you're not honest, gaining their trust back is kind of impossible. They will never be able to tell when you're being honest or not. You might be seen as someone who plays a lot of tricks or just doesn't care, so it might come off as a selfish thing to do, maybe very manipulative. So, honesty goes hand in hand with trust and humility, um, because you have to care more about someone else's feelings when you're being honest. Because I guess you can live with dishonesty if nobody knows it, but if other people know that you're dishonest, then that's a whole different story. I guess my second value would be wisdom. I think that my parents are very wise people, especially my dad. He's a very philosophical artist, and he reads a lot, and I think that he gains a lot of his knowledge from literature and history, and um, through this he becomes a very wise person. And when I'm going through tough times, I think I always go to him for advice. So I like to think that people come to me for advice a lot. So this is something very important to me, because when people are trusting your opinion or want your perspective on a certain situation, you have to try to be as wise as you can be for them. But this also goes back to being wise for your own good. Like when difficult situations come up, you have to be able to make wise decisions and take the right action and make the right choices. But without wisdom, none of this is possible. Um, Creativity is my third value. I am an artist, just like my dad, and I can't imagine not being a creative person. I mean, it's basically my my middle. That's like my core. That's what I um, that's how I think. I have a very creative brain, so I don't think in a straight line. Um, I try to think of different aspects, different perspectives. I try to think of different solutions before coming to a conclusion. And this is because of the way I was brought up. My brother's also a musician. My aunt is a fashion designer. My dad is a multimedia artist. He does a million things. So, always growing up around these different factors that ultimately have to do with the same creative aspects um, has really shaped me. And I basically owe my creativity to my family, honestly. And achievement is number four. I think that before reaching achievement, which is anyone's ultimately anyone's end goal, you have to go through motivation, perseverance, struggles, getting back up from failures. And um, I think that achievement is the embodiment of what I want in life. I think I will achieve many times in my life with all the goals that I have. I don't think that achievement is just a one time thing. I think I'm very resilient in that way. I persevere. I'm very um, charismatic, and I always try to believe in myself, even though I have trouble with that. But even if it seems like it's the end of the world, in the end, I will always get things done. Like, I always doubt myself sometimes. Um, I think too harshly of myself. Like, I'm very critical. But although this is both my strength and my weakness, I think I'm always achieving greater things, and I always strive to look for more opportunities. So, um, making it and being successful is about me being happy, and understanding that I am happy to be where I am. Um, and the fifth value is love. This is something that my family really implements, to do everything out of love. Life is too short to be angry, so we definitely have to care for others. And if there were more people that cared about each other, this world would be a much better place. Through love, we can conquer empathy, humility, and um, great leadership, and just playing the bigger person, and just being an example to others. So I think that through love, anything is possible. And um, yeah, these are my five values that I hold very dear. And I think that they play out in a lot of areas of my life. And even though if I struggle a lot of times and I don't believe in myself in the end, these are the five things that I try to do best and that I try to apply to my everyday life to live a happy and successful life.